Hey guys, it's me, Miss Norris, and today I'd like to share a fun read aloud with you of the story Caps for Sale. The story Caps for Sale was originally written in 1940 by Esphyr Slobodkina, and it tells the story of a peddler and what happens with his caps. And today I have some three-dimensional objects so that we can tell the story in two different ways, through the book and through puppets. If you're ready to hear the story, I'm ready to share it with you. Here we go. Caps for Sale. Once, there was a peddler who sold caps, but he was not an ordinary peddler carrying his wares on his back. He carried them on top of his head. First, he had on his own gray checked cap, then a bunch of gray caps, then a bunch of brown caps, then a bunch of blue caps, and on the very top, a bunch of red caps. He walked up and down the streets, holding himself very straight so as not to upset his caps. And as he went along, he called, "Caps! Caps for sale! 50 cents a cap!" So he has a hard job trying to balance all his caps and trying to sell them for 50 cents each. One morning, he couldn't sell any caps. He walked up the street and he walked down the street calling, "Caps! Caps for sale! 50 cents a cap!" But nobody wanted any caps that morning. Nobody even wanted a red cap. He began to feel very hungry, but he had no money for lunch. "I think I'll go for a walk in the country," he said. And he walked out of town slowly, so as not to upset all his caps. So he didn't sell any caps, and he decided to go for a walk because he didn't have any money for lunch. He walked for a long time until he came to a big tree. "That's a nice place for a rest," thought he, and he sat down very slowly under the tree and leaned back little by little against the tree trunk so as not to disturb the caps on his head. So he sat down right in front of this tree. Let's see if I can get this up a little higher. And he rested so that all of his caps stayed on top of his head. Then he put up his hand to feel if they were straight. First, his own checkered cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, and then the red caps on the very top. They were all there, so he went to sleep. He slept for a long time. When he woke, he was refreshed and rested. So he had a good nap. But before standing up, he felt with his hand to make sure his caps were in the right place. All he felt was his own checkered cap. Dun, dun, dun! Where could his caps have gone? He looked to the right of him, No caps. He looked to the left of him. No caps. He looked in back of him. No caps. He looked behind the tree. No caps. Where are his caps? Then he looked up in the tree. And what do you think he saw? You have a second to make a guess. Just one. Just 1 second for one guess. On every branch, there sat, oh, lost a monkey. Oh, I'm going to lose my caps. I lost the whole tree. Bear with me. Monkey with me. On every branch sat a monkey, and on every monkey was a gray or a brown or a blue or a red cap. So many monkeys, so many caps. The peddler looked up at the monkeys. The monkeys looked at the peddler. He didn't know what to do. Finally, he spoke to them. Now, if you were selling caps and a bunch of monkeys stole your caps and were up in a tree with all of your caps, ooh, what would you do? What would you even say? I'd say, get down from there, you monkeys. We'll find out. Sorry, I didn't even show you that I also am wearing my caps for sale all on top of my head. And it is not easy, especially when your monkey tree keeps falling down. You monkeys, you, he said, shaking a finger at them. You give me back my caps. But the monkeys only shook their fingers back at him and said, I don't think the peddler speaks monkey, and I don't think the monkeys speak peddler. This made the peddler angry. So he shook both hands at them and said, You monkeys, you give me back my caps. But the monkeys only shook their hands back at him and said, They're mocking him. They're doing what he's doing. Now he felt quite angry. He stamped his foot and he said, You monkeys, you better give me my caps. But the monkeys only stamped their feet back at him and said, That peddler's so mad. By this time, the peddler was really very, very angry. He stamped both his feet and shouted, You monkeys, you must give me back my caps. But the monkeys only stamped both their feet back at him and said, This isn't going very well. At last, he became so angry that he pulled off his own cap and threw it on the ground and began to walk away. So he got mad and he threw his own hat on the ground and he was leaving. But then Each monkey pulled off his cap. And all the gray caps, and all the brown caps, and all the blue caps, and all the red caps came flying down out of the tree. He should have thrown his hat sooner, I guess. So the peddler picked up his caps and put them back on his head. First, his own checkered hat, then the gray, then the brown, then the blue caps, and then the red caps on the very top. He collected all of his caps that the monkeys threw down, and he arranged them and put them back on his head. Such a big stack of caps. And slowly, he walked back to town calling, "Caps! Caps for sale! 50 cents a cap!" The end. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you really enjoyed the story, Caps for Sale. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button at the bottom of the page. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot to me. If you're not a subscriber yet, please click that subscribe button down at the bottom of the page. And don't forget to click the bell so that you're notified when there's new content. I hope to see you all again real soon, and I hope no monkeys try and steal your caps while you take a nap. And I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.